Hello, everybody. It's nice to be with you once again. So, today we will be talking about something very, very interesting and helpful, and that is how we can deal with masturbation and pornography. How can we put an end to this addiction? I am going to handle both pornography and masturbation in this podcast. In my previous podcast, I spoke about my own struggles with masturbation as well as pornography. They are two different podcast sessions, so you can go back and listen to them. I've been through these things. I've had my own struggle. I've also had my fair share of having to struggle with masturbation and having to struggle with pornography, as well as having to struggle with the guilt that comes after it. So for today's podcast, we will be talking about how to deal with these addictions. Okay, so I'll go straight to the point, and I want to break this into 4 different stages. There are 4 different stages of masturbation and pornography. Understanding these 4 different stages will help you know which stage you currently are and which of the methods you should use in actually dealing with it. Take for example, someone who is involved in stealing. There are stages in stealing. There's the first attempt, the very first day that you stole, that you stole from the house, you stole from the pot. Then there is a second attempt where, you steal because it's part of you. So you can't get something that you want, and you know that if you can't get it and you don't have the means of getting it, the next available means for you to get it is by stealing. Then there's also a stage where it becomes part of you. You begin to break into people's houses just to steal. And then there's a stage where you get arms. And for these different stages, if you are being caught, there are different judgments to it. There are different judgments to these various criminal acts. So what are the various stages in masturbation and pornography? Finding and understanding the various stages will help you know, okay, this is where I am and this is what I need to do, because I won't just come here and tell you do this, do that, and do that. No, there are no rules. And please, let me give a disclaimer. Drop your religious belief. If you're religious, I want you to drop your religious belief right now. Whatever religious background you have, please and please drop that religious belief right now. Okay, so what are the 4 stages of masturbation and pornography? Number 1, the first stage is what I call admission. Admission. The stage of admission. This is where you begin to experiment masturbation. You begin to experiment watching pornography. This is where you have been introduced to it. You are either introduced to watching pornography either when you were young, or maybe maybe your friends shared it to you on their phones, or for masturbation your friends told you about it, or somebody introduced you to it, or you just stayed on your own and you just felt like striking against your private part. That's the stage of admission. That's when you begin to experiment. You try it out. You're new to it. You're a newbie to it. Then the second stage is what I call attention. Attention. The stage of attention. This is where you begin to masturbate regularly. You begin to watch pornography regularly. You watch it once in a while, Now, by regularly, I mean once in a while. Maybe once a week, once in a week, twice in a week, every month you're definitely masturbating. Every week, once in a week, you're definitely watching pornography. That movie, that once you see that movie and they are probably having sex, you just know, okay, the next thing to do is to go to that website and click xxx or porn dot whatever, and then you watch it, and afterwards you're masturbating at night. That's the stage of attention. So you start giving it attention, whereas you have already been admitted into the act of masturbation and pornography in the first stage of admission. Now you start paying attention to it gradually, once in a while. So what's the third stage of masturbation and pornography? It's what I call affection. Affection, the stage of affection. What happens in affection is you begin to enjoy it. And not just the fact that you enjoy it, it becomes frequent and common to you. Now you begin to do it every day. Every day. It becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of what you do. So before you go to bed every night, you have to, just put your hand down there into your private part, and then just strike against it, before you go to bed every night. No matter how tired you are, probably you could just pick up your gadget and just maybe view a short scene of that of that sex scene, or maybe you could just pick up a magazine or just go online and then just get a nude picture, and then sometimes you can just fall asleep while masturbating. You begin to enjoy it. It becomes common to you. Maybe sometimes you even get into the bathroom, and even before you're out, or even the restroom before you're out, you just have that feeling. Just want to enjoy it, because it's part of you. It's part of you. Every single opportunity, probably your whole day you were so busy. Every single opportunity you just want to just strike it hard and just feel yourself. That's the stage of affection. The fourth stage of masturbation and pornography is what I call addiction. The stage of addiction. Now, with this, you understand that nobody just becomes addicted to masturbation and pornography just like that. It's all in different stages. It's all in different phases. First of all, you get admitted into it, then secondly, you begin to pay attention to it, you give it your attention, and then thirdly, you begin to give your affection. You are interested then before you get addicted to it. The stage of addiction. This is where you can't do without it. You can't do without it. You are thinking about it. You are obsessed with it. You're filled. You're consumed with it. At a point when I was struggling with this, with addiction to pornography and masturbation, at a point I would be in class and I would be masturbating in class. Why? Because I couldn't do without it. I couldn't. You would see at this stage, if you go a day without it, you would feel so uncomfortable. If you go a day without watching it, without watching pornography, without masturbating, you would feel so uncomfortable. You would feel like there's something you've not done. You would definitely look for various means. Even if you have no reason or any business going to the restroom, you would definitely go to the restroom. Why? Because you want to masturbate. Sometimes definitely well. So you just take advantage of that opportunity when you're taking your bath, and then you just grab your soap and then you're masturbating in the bathroom. Sometimes you may not even have data. You will go the extra mile to even borrow data, or even borrow somebody's phone. There was a point where my phone was bad. When I was struggling with it, my phone was bad, so I had no access to any gadget. So when somebody comes to charge their phone in my room, I would just pick up their phone and I will use and I will watch pornography. At that point, you can't do without it. Just the same way you wake up every morning and you want to have breakfast, it becomes like part of your meal. But guess what, guys? Guess what? I am a proof. Having gone through masturbation and pornography, most of you may be feeling and thinking that is it even possible for you to break out? Is it even possible for you to overcome it? Is it even possible for you to stop doing it? Hey, that is why I am here. I am a proof that it is possible. Yes, I am. If I was able to stop it, guess what? 5 years down the line, I can't remember the last time I masturbated or watched pornography. I can't. What? No. See, nothing has the tyranny to rule your life if you don't give it permission to. Nothing has the tyranny to rule your life. Not even masturbation, not even pornography can rule your life, can control your life, can dictate your life if you don't give it the permission to. I stopped giving it permission and I gained mastery. When you are addicted, it becomes a master over you. But when you break out, you become a master over it. So probably you can just be browsing on your phone, and then of course, an ad pops up on your phone with a naked picture. You just click X and it's gone. That desire to want to watch it disappears. It's no longer there. That desire to want to masturbate is no longer there. Listen, those thoughts will still come. But unlike before, when you submit yourself to the thoughts, unlike before when you yield yourself, when you surrender your will to those thoughts, when the thoughts come back again, you no longer surrender to those thoughts of masturbation. Why? Because you've become a master over it. You've become a master over it. So quickly, how can you break out of masturbation? How can you overcome pornography? How can you gain mastery over this addiction? Depending on your stages. Number 1 is to resist it. Resist it. Now, resisting it is if you are in stage 1. If you are in the stage of admission, you just got introduced to masturbation and pornography, resist it. How do you resist it? Let's use, for example, a girl who is being, whose attention is trying to be gotten by a guy. The guy is trying to, toast the girl, and she's resisting. How does she resist? She keeps on saying no. She keeps on saying no. She avoids his call. She doesn't make any room for them to see. So how do you resist it? Don't give any room for you to watch pornography. See, this is where if you watch any movie and then there is a sex scene, the moment you see the sex scene, fast forward. You have no business watching movies that have sex scene if you just got introduced to this thing, especially if you want to deal with it. Please let me say this. You can only get help if you want to get helped. You can only get helped if you want to get helped. And I know that you listening to this podcast is because you want to get help. Nobody will baby feed you in the process of breaking out of it. The choice is yours to make. So when you see the movie and the movie has as little as kissing, trust me, You have to do it now. Don't say, will I ever watch any movie? No. You have to do it now. You have to do it now. See, right now I can watch a movie and they are kissing and nothing moves in me. But for you, if you watch a movie and they are kissing, the next thing now you're watching pornography and you say you don't want help. No, you have to resist it. You just saw the movie and they are kissing and you know already. You know very well that when you're watching, it's just a normal movie. Guess it's just a normal movie. Okay, it's just a normal movie. It's not a pornography. You get just a normal movie and they're just kissing. You know. And you know that the more you watch this thing, you will get stirred up. Hey, fast forward. In fact, end the movie. End the movie. Why? Because it's for your sake. End the movie. End it. And also, songs. There are some, it's either in movies or songs. There are some songs you can listen, you can watch. And the video, see, as a guy, guys are moved by what we see. Don't allow anybody deceive you. As guys, we are moved by what we see. There is no way you would watch a movie or you watch a song video and the dancers in that song video are probably wearing bomb shots. You know, either wearing bomb shot or a guy is standing behind them and is rocking their ass or holding their ass or they are twerking, then you will not want to masturbate or watch pornography. It will stir it up. It will stir it up. Sometimes you're not even watching it, but it is what you are listening to. You could be amongst friends and they are having these conversations. They are talking about having sex. And you now, probably you've not had the opportunity to have sex. Just listening to their conversation would make you want to have sex. But because you may not have that opportunity to have sex, what you're going to resort to is watching pornography and masturbation is now a shortcut route to satisfying your sexual urges. So because you can't have sex with a lady, you now masturbate. Shortcut. So you have to resist it. If you are in stage 1, which is admission, you have to resist it. The second way to deal with masturbation and pornography is expose it. Expose it. If you are in stage 2, which is the stage of attention, what you need to do here is expose it. How do you expose it? This is what many persons probably do not like doing. They do not like doing it. See, you know that when you're watching this thing, you don't watch it in public. You hide and do it. If it was so good to do, why don't you stay in public to do it? Why? If they catch you, you see all those thoughts. So you hide. But you're going to stand on the road and masturbate now, or stand on the road and watch pornography, or stay in a public place and watch pornography. You have to expose it. Now, how do you expose it? Tell somebody about it. That is how you expose it. Carry yourself and go and report to somebody. That's all. It's as simple as that. Now you will be saying, "Oh, can you trust?" See, find somebody and trust. Find somebody. If you do not have anybody that you can trust, which is wrong. Which is wrong, but I don't blame you, I don't blame you because this generation, it's quite difficult to trust anybody. But if you don't have anybody you can trust, then report yourself to me. I offer myself, report yourself to me. I don't need to say anything. You are the one coming to report yourself. I don't need to respond. No, you don't need anybody's response at this point. Just expose it. See, that thought of exposing it, that thought of exposing it gradually, you lose the desire for it. It is like cooking food, when you cook food and then it's a very, very delicious meal. Then rather than eating the food inside your house, you take the food outside and you don't cover it, but you open it. You open it up. Then you leave it. You're not eating it, you leave it. You're sitting down there looking at it. Then flies, insects begin to perch on it. What will happen? You lose desire for it. Why? Because you went outside and you exposed the food. Now, in many cases, you don't even need to go outside. Just in your house, by merely exposing the food, by merely exposing the food without covering it, depending on how neat your house is, insect could definitely crawl in, and then you just lose it. Okay, let's use bread. Perfect example. Let's use bread for example. Let's say you want to eat bread and you put butter. You smear butter around the bread and you leave it. You don't cover it, you leave it. If you come back like 20 minutes time, you will not enjoy that bread. Because why? It will get strong. It will get strong. Just like you can't buy some snacks or you can't buy some items, even biscuits. If you open up the sachet of a biscuit, air will enter and the biscuit will no longer be strong. It will be soft. Why? Because it has been exposed. You do not need to eat the biscuit just by exposing it. So that's all you need to do at this stage where you're giving attention to it, where you're masturbating and watching pornography once in a while. Just expose it. If you do have anybody, like I said, I am here for you. Send me an email. I don't need to respond. I'll give you my email. Just send me an email. Report yourself or send a message to me. My email address is anaiyang01@gmail.com. Let me spell it out. ANAIYANG01@gmail.com. I will take that again. ANAIYANG01, like number 0 and number 1 @gmail.com. Send me an email and report yourself. Okay. Now, what happened? Now, number 3. The third way to deal with masturbation and pornography. If you are at the stage of affection, this is what you need to do. And that is check it. Put it under check. Checkmate it. In a game of chess where you've defeated your opponent. In fact, even without defeating your opponent, and you've taken your warriors, either your pawn, your knight, or your bishop, or your queen, and they are facing the opponent, they are facing your opponent's king. What do? You say, check your king. You're putting the king under pressure. Check your king. So the bishop moves diagonally. So the bishop is facing the king and you're saying check your king. What does the king do at that point? The king moves. The king moves and you use your knight and you have like an L shape, 4 spaces against the king, and you move and you tell your opponent check your king. The king has to move. So you're putting your opponent under pressure to constantly put his king under check. Why? Because you're attacking it. Now, how do you attack? How do you attack masturbation? By checking it. How do you attack pornography? By checking it. It is by being accountable to somebody. Have an accountability partner. Of course, the person has to be a guy. Same sex. Have have an accountability partner. Someone that you don't, this is not reporting yourself. This one is somebody that whenever you feel like masturbating, whenever you feel like watching pornography, you tell the person, oh my guy, I see how they do me for body. Oh. You see, when you say it, that feeling in you will move. How will it move? It will move from that day to another day. It will move from that time to another time. Why? Because you've told somebody. In fact, even before the thought is coming, because you know, when you've made it a culture, because you know that when the feeling comes, you would definitely tell somebody, see, that feeling, that desire would leave you. It will move from that time to probably another time. Sometimes you may even send a message and not even get a quick response from your accountability partner, and then maybe you even get into the act. Immediately after the act, go and make yourself accountable. Tell a guy, almost see what thing happen. No, I just watched pornography and I masturbated. Do you know what will happen? This is what is going to happen. The next time that you would feel like masturbating, the next time that you would feel like watching pornography, when that desire comes, you will remember that after masturbating and after watching pornography, you have to report, you have to be accountable to that to your friend. That desire would move. Why? Because see, when you're saying it out, something is leaving you. See, it takes a lot, trust me. It takes a whole lot. I remember when I was struggling with this, and one of those nights I just knew that with the way that I'm feeling, what's the point now? If I just do, I'll still go report myself. What's the point? Let's just leave it. Let's not watch this night. Let's not do this night. You see, it moved, and it will keep on moving until you get to the point of checkmate, where you've killed it. That brings me to the fourth way you can deal, terminate, and overcome masturbation and pornography, and that is starving it. Starving it. If you are at the point of addiction, if you are at the stage where it is actually an addiction, you can't do without it, you have to starve it. You see, the reason why hardened criminals, are not given, when I mean hardened criminals, I mean people that carry gun and they even murder, they even kill. The reason why they are given life, some of them are given life imprisonment, some of them are given up to like 10 years or 20 years imprisonment, is because that judgment in that prison is meant to starve them of the desire to steal. That's the same thing. Now, you cannot just starve it alone. You definitely, that's why it's actually in phases. You actually need an accountability partner. What your accountability partner will do for you, he will help you resist it. He will help, because you may try resisting it on your own and you cannot. He will help you resist it. He will rebuke you. He will help you expose it. He will also help you starve it. Yes, he will. If he cannot, please, you have my email address. Reach out to me. Let me speak with you and your accountability partner, and let me tell him, probably. And most importantly, your accountability partner doesn't need to be somebody who is perfect. He doesn't need to be somebody who has also overcome it. He can even be somebody who is struggling with it also. See, guys, we don't like talking. We don't. I wish we like talking. I wish we like talking amongst ourselves. Then you get to understand that what you're going through, you are not the only one that is going through it. Your fellow brother who sits beside you, who you deal with, is also going through it. And you can even realize that, can we be accountable to ourselves to help each other? So I can probably talk to both of you and let people know what you need to do, to checkmate this thing. So starving it. When it comes, you know what it means to starve something. You know what it means when the food is looking at you and you're looking at the food. You're hungry, but you're not eating the food. Or maybe there's food and you're refusing to eat food. That's why you intentionally, this is where you have to make up your mind. That's why I had to say earlier on, and you don't want to be helped. No matter what I say, you will not be helped. So listening to this podcast means you need to be helped, means you want to be helped, and it also means that you are helped. Yes, help has come. You have been helped, and you are helped. It's very possible when it pops up, you have to tell yourself, just shake your head, man. Shake your head, starve it. Say no to it. You starve it constantly. Day 1, day 2, you're feeling like, can you do it? Maybe in the process, you even go back to it. You go back to your accountability partner. He rebukes you, tells you what to do again, and then you get back. That desire comes. When the movie pops up, you cancel the movie. In fact, see, at this stage, you don't even need to continue watching the movie. Just see, some persons have learned how to watch movie quickly. They just fast forward just to know what the movie is about. See, at this point, you need to censor the things you watch, censor the movies you watch before you even watch a movie. Don't do fast forward. Is there any sex scene? So that you will not get yourself into trouble. So that you won't get yourself into trouble. And then also another way of starving it is ensure that there is nothing around you that can even remind you or that can even help you. All the magazines that you may have bought, pick it up and dump it, burn it, delete all the movies that you have, all the sex movies, all the pornography movies that you have. Delete the website. Now, delete the website. Now, if you get an accountability partner, I would also introduce both of you to an app. What this app does, what the app does is this. Each time you visit a porn site, your accountability partner will get a notification. It's called Covenant Eyes. Yes, I hope I'm not mistaken. It's called Covenant Eyes. So you register, you sign up with your accountability partner. Each time you visit the porn site, your accountability partner gets a notification and calls you, says, "Guy, have far more, leave that place, leave that site." So you get. So you delete the movies, delete the link. And consciously try to forget. I'm not saying you will forget, but consciously try to forget. When you're online, visit other websites. Starve it. You see, it requires discipline. What is discipline? Delaying gratification. You delay that desire. And it's possible. Very, very possible. Like I said, if I broke out, if I dealt with my struggles in my addiction to masturbation and pornography, I'm confident that you will too. I'm confident that you can too. And I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, sharing your story with me. That wow, AI, thank you very much. This was helpful. I tried this. I used to struggle with pornography and masturbation, and today I no longer struggle. Remember, let's do a rundown. The 4 stages of masturbation and pornography. Number one, admission. Number 2, attention. Number 3 stage, affection. Number 4 stage is addiction. Now, the 4 different ways to deal with it. Number 1, resist it. If you are in the stage of admission. Number 2, expose it. Number 3, check it. And number 4, starve it. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I hope and I trust and I'm confident that this has really been helpful. Thank you. Best regards.